Hello everyone and welcome to this week's watch list preview. I have four tickers. You noticed I actually gave you kind of a teaser yesterday. I think it was last night. Gave you kind of a teaser on my watch list. Here it is: Apple, eBay, Western Digital, and Caterpillar. Um, you'll see when we get to Western Digital, there's a gap to fill in the daily, and Caterpillar. Um, if it triggers, it'll trigger an inside month up, possibly trigger an inside month up. So let's take a look. Here's Apple. Um, very bullish on the year. Oops. On the quarter, it's an inside quarter, but it's bullish. Inside month, but we're getting close to breaking the highs of the previous month. Earnings is not till January, so we don't have to worry about that. Close to breaking the inside month. If you do get a trigger on this and enter it, if we break the inside month, look for targets, or not inside month, break the high of the previous month. That would give us a 2-2 reversal on the monthly. So you can look for targets on the monthly chart. I usually go down to the weekly to look for targets, but I don't want to complicate this too much. I mean, we'll glance at it, but so these are our targets for the week. If we break our trigger 152.43, target one's 153.17, and we'll come down to the weekly to see those targets and why I got those, how I got those. Target 2, oops, I'm still on the weekly. All right, there we go. Target 2 is 153 or 155.48. I'm getting all confused here. Right here. Target 3 is 156.11. Target 4, I skipped this candle because it's so close to the pivot high here. So I got 157.26 for target 4. If we break if we go 2-2 on the month, which would be a break above what I say it was. I don't want to throw out the wrong number, so let me make sure. 153.17. So if we break the high of the month right here, 153.17, we're looking at pretty much up here at 157.26 for our target. So, but if you're trading weeklies, you may not have time to wait for that 157.26 for the monthly break. So keep that in mind. eBay, I have eBay possibly going either way. Take my time in sales off just so the chart looks a little better, a little bigger. eBay's had a great year. It's had a pretty good quarter, but it's pulled back. The month, it's an inside month, a little bit more bearish than it is bullish, but it is holding the mid-level of last month's candle. And the week, kind of the same thing here. We're kind of about the midpoint of last week's candle, or the previous week's candle. Almost a spinning top. This one could go either way. We're above the 9 and 21 EMAs. And just quickly, the reason I threw the 9 and 21s on there is I have this window on another monitor, and because of my day job, I can't sit and watch charts all day. I can just do a quick glance over and see green and know, okay, we're looking bullish. See red, okay, we're bearish. Just makes it easier for that real quick glance for me. If we're above the green, then we're bullish. If we're below the green or below the red, whichever it is, below the cloud we'll call it, then we're bearish. Just makes it easier for me to get better entries. An example might be, I don't want to drag this video out too long, but let me try to find something here. Trying to find something. Let's say right here. And I'm not saying this was a bad entry. This would have worked out great. But let's just say look how far away from the 9 we are, and we triggered right here. A lot of times when you're that far away from the 9, you might get a trigger that comes up and reverses right back down. I'll look for an entry down closer to here. I'll look for it to come down here, and then I'll jump in. So it's just working better for me. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying everybody should do it. It just, I was getting stopped out of a lot of trades because I was getting entries that were, $2 away from the 9 EMA, and as soon as it would enter, it would start to pull back just a little bit, and then I'd get stopped out. And I just kind of got tired of that, and started throwing the EMA on there and playing around, and that's kind of what I've come up with. So if we break the high side, 77.61, targets will be 78.50 and 81.19. If we break the low side, we're looking at a break below 73. What is that? 73.86. Target 1 is going to be 72.07. Target 2 is 70.55. So that's what we're looking at for eBay. Western Digital. Let's take a look at the year. Kind of a trying to form a shooting star on the year. On the quarter, we're kind of not real great on the quarter, but we're trying to form a hammer on the quarter. On the month, we're inside month, but it's bullish. It's a green candle, and we're trying to bounce off of these lows here. So let's see if we can continue that. On the week, we had an inside week, but it was a nice green candle. We're still below the 9 and 21, but I'm okay with that as long as we can continue. But I'm going to have tight stops on this one. So if we break the high of this last week's inside candle, 56.70, come down to the daily and look for targets. And I do the daily chart for my targets just because I'm a little bit more conservative. If you're okay with being a little bit more aggressive, you can just do, if you go back to the weekly, your first target, if we break this, your first target would be 57.80, which for me is target 2. So, and it more or less gives you if anything, gives you another place to move a stop. If we break target 1, we're up here. I'm probably going to put my stop probably just above break even, just above entry, between entry and the midpoint of entry and target 1. Maybe right around here, here at 56.90, 57 maybe. I probably wouldn't put it any higher than 57. And then once we break above target 2, do the same thing here. Move it just above target 1. That's how I would do it. So anyway, Western Digital, target 1's 57.34, target 2's 57.80, target 3 is 58.92. Last one we have is Caterpillar. You look at on the year, trying to form a shooter on the year. On the quarter, inside quarter, but it's coming back up. On the month, we had a double. I shouldn't say we had a double. We had an inside month last month, and that's what I said earlier. If you look on here, we could break the inside month up on this also. So if we break the inside candle, the high of the inside candle last week, the trigger is technically going to be 208.88. But on this one, I'm kind of looking at, instead of breaking that, I'm going to wait for a 209.75 break, which will give me the inside month up. You could get in here, maybe buy a third or fourth of your position on the break of the inside candle, and then add to it when we break the month up. It's up to you how you want to do that. I would definitely not be opposed to buying. In fact, I may just go ahead and buy one contract when it breaks 208.88. And then we break the inside month up, add to it. So we'll see how it goes. We come down to the weekly. Here's the trigger. like I said, I put my trigger here for the month up, but technically 208.88 would be an entry. And once we break that, I have target 1 at 213.74, target 2 at 215.70, target 3 at 218, target 4 at 233.76. Now, the thing about Caterpillar, and I don't know, we'll have to see how things play out, but without getting into politics or too much fundamentals, I'm not into trading fundamentals, but with that infrastructure bill just being signed, um, to do all this work, all this construction, you're going to need heavy equipment, and Caterpillar's probably the biggest heavy equipment manufacturer in the world. So that may trigger some bulls coming in here. So let's see how if that has any impact on it. If it does, we may gap up pretty high tomorrow. Maybe even gap up to, and here's how I would trade it. Let's say we gap up to 213. I'm going to look for a pullback closer to this 210 level before I get in. I may buy one contract here if I feel confident enough. Buy one contract at wherever it gaps to. If it gaps up here, then I'm just gonna forget this trade and look for maybe something along the lines of a normal gap up. Look for a little bit of a pullback and then jump in. But if it gaps up to here, I'll look for it to pull back closer to this trigger and then get in. So that's what I have for this watch list. Somebody had mentioned also about they thought that I should do some training videos. I've done some, but they've been quite a while ago, so it's probably a good idea to go ahead and renew them, do some more. I know my charts have changed since then. I normally do my videos on this chart here, and the only reason, these are the 9 and 21, the only reason I do it on this chart is I don't want this to distract you too much. But I've been using this with the cloud with the shaded area in there because of, like I said earlier, it's easier for me to just glance over real quick and see the colors, and I don't have to stare at the chart as long. So that's what's working for me. But when I do my videos, I kind of strip it down a little bit more. The only thing I have on here is I have pivot highs. You can see pivot highs and pivot lows. Right here is a pivot. Actually, is it a pivot or a target? Yeah, that's a pivot. Right here is a pivot low. And then I have a 15-minute orb, and I haven't played around with it yet, but in case you wonder what it is, this green line here and this red line here is a 15-minute orb. It's a 15-minute opening range. If you look at the 5-minute, you can see it better. It takes the first 15 minutes, the high of the first 15 minutes was actually this one. The high of the first 15 minutes and the low of the first 15 minutes. And it draws a line there. And usually you look for a break of it either way for a trade. I haven't really played around with it much, but I'm trying to, because of my job, I'm trying to find trades where I can get in right away pretty early in the morning and get out and be done for the day. Because what I have right now, I look for setups that might not happen till 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and it's just too hard to do with my job. So I started looking at the 15-minute orbs to try to look for something that's working for me. So far, I haven't really put much time or effort into it, so I can't really talk about it or go into detail with it because I don't know that much about it yet. So anyway, that's my video for this week. Watch for a couple of training videos throughout the week. I'll try to get a couple in. Here's my watch list. Thanks for watching, and if you make money on these trades, just put a comment in down below. You don't have to tell me dollar amounts. Hey, I made 3%, I made 8%, I made 50%, whatever it is. That just helps motivate me to know that people are watching this and it's helping them, and it motivates me to keep wanting to do more videos. So thanks for watching, and hope I see some comments in there that people making some money this week. So, all right, thanks everyone, and talk to you at the end of this week. Bye.